Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Everything good?
Think so. Whole new camera.
Whole new camera. Do you think the people can tell?
I mean, hopefully if you've uploaded this in the right quality, then they'll be able to see that it's 4K, darling,
Check
our first.
quality options you
Oh my
have.
gosh.
It's nice that like we're doing the 4K camera today because we both have writing on our shirts.
We do, and everyone's got to read where, you know, I graduated from. And what's on yours? Oh,
Paris.
Did you graduate from Paris?
I graduated from Paris.
That's amazing.
I also graduated from there.
You did?
Yeah, but
amazing.
Not Paris. This is false advertising. I've never been.
Oh, so you're just a liar.
Whatever.
You're such a fucking liar, Camille.
I'm a liar in 4K. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Two Gay Mats. It's Matt Steele.
And it's Matt Palmer.
And we are back today to finish off something that we didn't finish when we started.
Okay, I mean, it's just a part 2 of a video. I don't know if like didn't finish is the way I'd put it.
Okay, yeah, but a little backstory. A few months ago, we did a video called like the parents of our favorite pop divas.
Yeah, it's like the musical parents.
Yeah, sort of like each, you know, pop diva has people who maybe inspired them, or maybe not even directly inspired them, but like this person, it feels like they have influences from so-and-so. Like we talked about how Beyonce could be the child of Tina Turner and Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Whether she consciously did that or not, she probably did. But like, you know, you get the idea. And so when I first brought this idea to Matt Palmer, I sent him a list of like 11 singers and he was like, we'll do 5.
I mean, yes, 11 was a lot. We didn't need to be here for 9 years discussing. So we're gonna do the other half that Matt Steele, you already had locked and loaded,
I
correct?
had locked and loaded. I did no work for this video.
I had to do a little bit of work. I had to think of some things. And I think I'm nervous because I didn't rewatch the old video. I'm like, am I gonna use the same parents over and over again?
Oh, that's right. We had a rule in the first one that you can't reuse the same parents twice.
So if I did, I'm sorry. That's what happens when you do a part 2 sometimes.
I followed my rules. I do not use any parents that I used in the first one in this one.
Okay, well that's fine. Good for you. To quote Olivia Rodrigo, but not for me.
Yeah, well, some might say that I worked harder on this.
You didn't even work at all today.
Well, and I'm editing this video, so I absolutely...
Hey, I bought the new camera.
Oh, you did.
I did.
So do you want to start with Billie Eilish?
Sure, let's start with Billie Eilish.
Okay, because Billie Eilish is such a huge name.
Especially right now. She just won at the Grammys, you know, for What Was I Made For? Excellent song.
And she's about to win at the Oscars for What Was I Made For?
She fucking better.
So Billie Eilish, like, she is like such a, I wouldn't say like a vocalist, like in terms of like power and everything, but like she does have such an interesting and specific like vocal ability, like a slight croonerness to her that it kind of reminds me of like, and it's not the same style obviously, but kind of like an Adele-ish.
Oh, okay, all right.
Like a youngish Adele, if Adele had a baby with Marilyn Manson.
Okay.
Because Billie Eilish is like, I'm gonna croon for you emotionally, but also like bleed out of my eyes.
Right, exactly.
You know, there's an emotional like ability that she has that she's able to like convey through her voice. Right. But also like a slight like classiness that Adele has, but also like it's like slightly classy mixed with Marilyn Manson.
Of course.
Like I don't know what I am. Like I am like out there and I'm like super pale with like insane hair and I'm gonna wear these clothes and have these weird fingernails sometimes. I don't know what Marilyn Manson did, but
who knows? I think he's problematic, so we don't have to talk too much about him.
Exactly, yes. But we'll talk more about her mother. The dad is out of the picture.
No, it happens.
Mom and dad got a divorce.
For me, my, you know, bleeding from the eyes reference was Trent Reznor. I feel like Billie also has a very like cinematic quality to a lot of her music, not just because of the Bond song and the Barbie song.
She's about to win her second Oscar.
Right, but there's something, and she also like takes a lot of risks production-wise. She and Phineas do things that are very outside of the box, and I feel like Trent Reznor and like his 9 Inch Nails past, and obviously The Social Network, your favorite soundtrack of all time.
Love that score.
I feel like there's a lot of influence there, and then it was hard for me to find a lady because I was like, who sings as softly as Billie Eilish? And for me, I almost picked Janet because she loves the fluttery, and whenever I play Janet in the house, Jackson's always like, I've never heard a person sing softer. I'm like, really? I'm so used to Janet that like I don't even notice.
I can't hear a word.
I don't even notice that she's singing softly, but apparently that's true. I didn't go Janet because she's a little bit more groovy, a little bit more soulful, I feel like. So I went with someone I was listening to on the way here, named Imogen Heap. Who I feel like a lot of the girls say they're Imogen Heap stans. Like Ariana is always talking about how Imogen Heap was one of her biggest influences, which you can hear in like the vocal arrangements. But as far as like what the music sounds like, I think Billie Nelly is the closest relative of the pop girls of today.
Yeah,
You know?
I would say Imogen Heap could definitely be the mother.
Absolutely.
Imogen Heap and Trent Reznor is a fabulous parenting.
Thank you so
Or it
much.
could be a combination of Imogen Heap and Marilyn. Or
Absolutely.
Trent Reznor and like all of it.
It's very wife swap.
It
It would
much
still
is.
work, and
no
I think
one
that's
knows
beautiful.
who the real parents are. We need Maury here.
Maury, where are you?
Where are you, Maury?
Who's next?
Oh, you want to do Lorde?
Let's do Lorde. I had a tough time with Lorde, but go on.
I think Lorde's parents are Robin
Oh, I was thinking of Robin too.
and Bjork.
Oh,
Like,
Bjork.
I think she is a mix between Robin and Bjork, like
I
a
hear
sort
that.
of like dancier, pop-focused Bjork.
Yes.
Yeah, you know?
All right. I think that I have a single parent for Miss Lorde.
You can't have single
I
parents.
just hey, single parents are very valid. Wow, Matt Steele, problematic.
you need-
He's just like Marilyn Manson.
Listen.
For me, I've decided that I have a single parent here. I almost was gonna give her orphan by him. So you need to be happy I'm giving you a parent. And the parent that I've chosen, and I have my reasons. My knowledge of Lorde is obviously mostly melodrama. And when you think of an artist who went from a certain kind of folk influenced sound and then hopped into a different genre but brought their style to it, and the mashup was so beautiful, I think of Miss Nelly Furtado. Because you think of Loose with Timbaland and how that really sonically took her to a different place, but she was able to incorporate like her kind of folk pop melodies atop the Timbaland production. I think when Lorde and Jack Antonoff got together from Melodrama, you get the big, almost 80s influence of the Jack Antonoff sound with Lorde's, you know, pure heroine-esque, like more ethereal vocal performance and melodic choices, and you come up with something very brilliant, because sometimes the two things that feel opposite in your head, they come together and make something so gorgeous.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, I understand I think that's very inspired, actually.
Thank you so
to
much.
Think of Nelly Furtado when you think of Lorde.
Yes.
And you're describing it in like career trajectory.
Yes.
Sort of.
I'd like to
thing.
recall you said Madonna was Taylor Swift's parent before you finish your
It
comment.
was
Let's
Madonna
go.
mixed with what's her name? She just sang at the Grammys. Joni Mitchell.
Oh, yes.
Because I was doing like style and like career trajectory.
Sure.
But I feel like to have. If you're gonna have like that inspired of an idea, you can't have that be the single
parent.
Because it's definitely more, like Nelly Furtado is so, like such a different genre of music that I feel like if you had Nelly Furtado mixed with someone who was a little more closer to Lorde's genre of music, maybe it's like Nelly Furtado meets, what's her name? Shamika said I had potential, with the pumpkins in the bush.
Fiona Apple.
Fiona Apple.
I'm fine with that. I
Give
don't.
her another parent.
I'll give you Fiona. I don't know Fiona enough to really feel her parentage, you know?
Okay.
But I appreciate what Nelly and Lorde did on Loose and Melodrama and what they've done. I hope what Lorde does in the future and what Nelly does in the future. Supposedly she's making a comeback, so I'm excited to see what happens next for her.
What if she collaborates with Lorde?
I would love that. We love a mother-daughter.
That would be great.
I really would. Hello?
That would be
I need to hear it. I need to hear it right now, actually.
Lorde, let's go.
Yes.
That's an inspired idea. Get off the beach.
Please,
And
God.
get into the studio with Nelly Furtado.
You can do it.
Next one, Miley Cyrus.
Oh,
recent
Miley.
Grammy winner. I think this one was pretty easy.
Yeah, I think so too.
I said her parents are Dolly Parton
Of course.
and Pat Benatar.
Oh, interesting. I
Yeah.
was going more bangers era, Miley.
oh, okay.
And so I said Dolly Parton.
Okay.
And Nelly.
All right.
Because I feel
That
like
is bangers era Miley. Yes.
because Nelly was so like, it was obviously hip hop, rap inspired music, but it was so pop, it was so
Sure.
ridiculous and frivolous and a lot of fun and very country.
Yes, but
And
her best work is Plastic Hearts.
We all
which
agree.
I feel like is a very Pat Benatar. And I feel like her performance at the Grammys, her look at the Grammys, it's very much that sort of like glamour rock,
Right.
feminist kind
Right.
of like look.
Yeah.
But you know, you always hear that country influence, and you know, she's so close.
I know,
Dolly
she
is
and Dolly
essentially
are-
like a mother figure
Exactly.
to her.
Right.
And she's such a charmer like Dolly. Like
is.
she's so fun and likable. And like you can tell she's so fun to be around. So Dolly definitely, but I think the rockiness of Pat Benatar for Miley now.
Yes.
Because like rock, I think is really where Miley shines. Even though
Yes.
she did have that, I guess, Nelly.
she had a Nelly era. And it was a successful one,
It
right?
was a successful
Great songs
one.
on that Bangers
Yeah,
album, absolutely.
Do you want to do Dua Lipa next?
We can do Dua Lipa next.
Okay. Dua Lipa obviously like shined with like when she started, well, she shined before the disco era stuff.
Yes.
But when she leaned into the future nostalgia, the disco, the dance and everything,
Yeah.
you can't not include like a Donna Summer type situation. But obviously she's a little rougher around the edges, a little sweatier, a little grittier than a Donna Summer, and a lot more British than Donna Summer.
She's very British.
I think she is Donna Summer meets Amy Winehouse.
Oh, interesting.
I think there's like a sort of, even though she's not like full into that grit of like Amy Winehouse, like the smoky bar and everything, there's still a smoky quality to her.
For me, Dua Lipa, I think as far as like reaching back into the past and like finding yourself in the music, it did give me kind of Gwen Stefani, like the second half of Love Angel Music Baby is very 80s inspired.
Yeah.
And not just because both of them have songs called Cool, both excellent songs called Cool.
Great songs.
But I feel like they both have that ability to like reach back in the past and find something that you think you've heard everything you need out of it and then make it cool and modern and slick. And so I think they have that connection. And this is giving Dua a lot, just like as far as what's gonna happen in her career, but I have a good feeling, judging from the trajectory of her career so far, that I'm gonna give her Rihanna. Because I feel like there was a time in which every great pop song, the #1 person you want to get that song is Rihanna. And I feel like Dua had that era during Future Nostalgia. She has a very distinctive voice. Her voice comes on the radio, you know it's Dua immediately, same for Rihanna. And I think she's gonna do a similar and very smart thing where she's gonna have very specific eras, but they're not going to feel like 180s from the previous era.
It's not gonna be like how Taylor's eras really shift and everything, much like Madonna's eras.
Okay, again, we're reaching, but yes, it's not gonna be a Madonna thing. It's like we're going from Future Nostalgia and then they're going to incorporate the psychedelic sounds into Houdini and whatever else comes after it. I'm hopeful that we're gonna get the wealth of great music that we got from Rihanna, from Dua Lipa, and I could foresee it.
Yeah, I definitely see Rihanna as being a potential parent. Just because like she has that distinctive voice that you want, even like when it's featured, it's
I know.
Like, you're just like, oh yes, I like this. This feels
cool. Good to me.
This feels good. Like it's just a great voice to have on record.
Absolutely.
You know, it's a comforting voice in a way. So wait, it was Rihanna and
Gwen Stefani.
I mean, that's inspired.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So the next person is Lizzo. Lizzo has like, you know, the big voice, the big like energy, and sort of like powerhouseness of like an Aretha Franklin, but the cutesy, fun, colorful quality of a Katy Perry.
Oh, okay.
Because Lizzo is like obviously much like poppier than like an Aretha Franklin.
Of course.
You know? So I think that's an interesting pairing.
For me, I would give her more Missy Elliott as a parent. I feel like she and Lizzo are two of the first rappers that come to mind that I'm like, you sing just about as well as you rap, which is like a very impressive quality. Like the vocal performance is like very legit in both of them. And I feel like they're about like joy and having fun and like making light music. I made the other parent actually a song instead of an artist, so you know, because we've been the rules here at 2K Minutes. I think if Missy Elliott decided to have sex with Born This Way, you'd wind up with Lizzo, because Lizzo wants you to believe in yourself, wants you to be positive, wants you to look in the mirror and be like, hey girl, you're it.
Well, then I think you could say that her parents are Missy Elliott meets Lady Gaga. I think Lady Gaga has that sort of element in a big chunk of her career.
She
that sort of like, hey gays, it's okay.
But I don't think Lizzo's as I don't know how to, I don't mean this to be rude. I don't know that she's as forward thinking as Lady Gaga was in her prime. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's why I said Katy Perry. Because
the Swifties are already mad at us about the real. All the fans are going to get mad at us.
Between like Lady Gaga in 2011 and Katy Perry in 2000. Like Katy Perry leaned more in, like they both kind of did like very kitschy, colorful, out there things, but like Katy Perry's was sweet and sugary and like easier to like swallow by like, you know, like both a younger generation and an older generation. Whereas Lady Gaga, it was very much just like people were scared.
Right.
So
it's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
Scared in a great way. They were both, you know, doing great things, but it's just.
I think if Katy had done Born This Way, I'd give her Katy. I don't know. Katy almost feels like the cool hot girl in a way that Born This Way is like, believe in yourself, you're a freak, but we love you, you know?
Fair.
So
I definitely take away my Aretha Franklin and put Missy Elliott.
Okay.
To me, Missy Elliott is definitely one of the parents more than Aretha Franklin.
All right, so, I appreciate that.
Yeah, because I totally didn't even think about the rap of it all.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a big part of what she does.
Fun and funny and funky.
Absolutely.
So I think I'm changing it to Missy Elliott and Katy Perry.
All right.
Still Katy Perry, though.
I'm glad to have inspired you.
I know, you've inspired me so much, as these artists have inspired these other artists.
Yes.
Ooh, do you want to do Janelle Monae?
Let's do Janelle Monae?
To me, Janelle Monae was pretty easy.
I agree.
The obvious one is Prince.
Of course.
Prince is her father.
Yes.
He is the father.
Yes.
Mari doesn't even need to open the envelope. The mother, there's a coolness and a simplicity to the sort of extravagance as far as Janelle Monae goes. There's like a sophistication that's also very cool. So I actually said Rihanna.
Oh, cool.
Like a Rihanna meets Prince type of deal.
I love that. I, of course, have Prince as well. For me, it is some gay parents in mind. And I just remember when Janelle Monae first came out, really getting echoes of Andre 3000. Like, she always felt like very cool and like not afraid to step outside of whatever box people are going to put her in at first glance. I feel like if in 50, not 50, but how long has it been since Outkast was huge? Like in 25 years, if she decided to put out an all-flute album like Andre 3000 did just recently, I would not bat an eye. It just makes sense to me that like she's going to do whatever her heart desires. She's going to take breaks and go into acting if she feels like it, come back to music when it inspires her. She just has like the free-spiritedness of Andre 3000 in my view.
Okay.
All right.
See, to me, that free-spiritedness like is kind of like trickles down to like Prince as well a little bit. So that's why I kind of went in something that really wasn't that as much to go with Prince to sort of balance it out.
I don't know. Maybe, I mean, Prince, I don't know if I'd call him a free spirit. I think he's very like musically free, but he's like, we're doing fucking music. We're making albums every 5 seconds.
He's very artistically focused.
Yes.
Like he was very much about the craft, which like you can tell Janelle Monae is very much as well. Like she's very intelligent, like very, very, like you can tell she thinks a lot about details, really cares about the musical quality of her music as well. I think there's one more.
Okay.
And that is Miss Adele.
Adele.
I had a really hard time with this. And it's so weird because it's like, you think of Adele and like, you think like, oh, so much of her music is like piano ballad, like simple and everything. But like, when I think of her, I'm kind of like, I'm having a hard time to think of like two people who can do all that she does, like who exudes the aura, who exudes the essence, but also goes into like the songwriting ability, also the like sort of like depressing aspect of like how her music makes you feel. Yes. And also sort of like the fun quality to it. I had a really hard time, and I don't think my two parents really add up totally to Adele. Okay. But I went with, one of the parents is Celine Dion.
Same.
Oh my God! Right?
Yes.
Yeah, because she has that grandeur, that sort of sophistication, especially like in her shows. There's something so timeless about her. Yes. So I think Celine Dion is absolutely a parent. Also, like vocals.
I mean vocals. Yeah. Absolutely.
And so I'm like, okay, do I want to lean more into like Adele's songwriting? Like, what artist could I think of? And I don't know if I really could think of one. So I went into more of like Adele does sing, like Adele does remind me of Celine Dion in some aspects, but her voice is so bluesy. Like there's such a bluesy quality to her voice as well. So I was like, okay, maybe Etta James. Like an Etta James meets Celine Dion. I love that. And I know Etta James did write some music as well, like some of her songs as well and everything. Yeah. But I don't know if I could find an artist that like was thought of as like as much of a songwriter as Adele is thought of as a songwriter. Totally. You know, but I still think maybe Adele has like 4 parents or 3 parents. She's a child of a polyamorous relationship.
I absolutely agree with Celine. I think they both, you can just hear from their vocal performances that they're students of like so many classic like black vocalists, and it's always like inspired in a great way and never like they're trying to ape a sound that's not theirs, you know? And I love both of them for that reason. My other parent is actually a parent you've mentioned earlier in the video, which is probably why it was unavailable to you. But I feel like not just because they came out near the same time and are British, but Amy Winehouse, like she kind of picked up that torch, especially early on, like in 19 and 21, those kind of throwbacky sounds, but again, with a little bit of darkness to the songwriting, you know, and like a little bit of the edges were not as clean and perfect as Celine Dion was. She was more troubled, even though Adele just emotionally troubled. Amy had many troubles. So she is the other parent in my book, and I think they've made a great child in Adele, and I'm so happy that Adele still so successful. I know that's a weird thing to say, but it's just true. I just remember when she was first starting out, at least when she broke in America, she performed on SNL to promote 19. I remember seeing her at the Soho Apple Store singing Hometown Glory. I think she sang Hometown Glory. Whatever she sang, it was excellent.
And the one time we met Adele.
Yes!
And you said, I met you.
I did!
At the Apple Store or whatever back in 2011 or whatever.
Yes.
And she was just like, oh, I forgot all my lyrics.
And I was like, no, you were perfect.
No, you were perfect.
You were perfect. You're always perfect.
Yeah, she was real nice.
She was great.
She was so nice. She hugged us.
She did. I just looked at that picture the other day. I was like, damn.
I'm going to post it. I'm going to post it right here.
We really met Adele, bitch.
We did.
Iconic. Yeah. So tell us below if you agree with our artistic parents of the artists we mentioned here today. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Matt Palmer Music.
And it's Matt Steele.
And at 2 Gay Mats for both of us. If you enjoy us, we have a podcast that comes out every Monday. It's called 2 Gay Mats TWO. You can get it wherever you get your podcasts. And if you want to see us record that podcast, just join us live on YouTube every Sunday night at 6:30 p.m.-ish. And we'll be there. We have a Patreon. If you really like us, go to patreon.com/2gaymats_TWO. There you can get extra bonus content. I saw today that I think we have 65 bonus posts as of today, something like that. And that's very cool. And you can meet a lot of friends via the Discord. We have a lot of talkative pop music and pop culture fans in there. And for certain tiers, you actually can request that we review or react to something of your choosing. And Matt Steele,
yes,
who do we need to give shout outs to today?
We need to give a shout out to our legendary patrons.
Yes.
And their names are Jen, Jacob, Jeff, Montana, Matthew, Jesse, Dallas, Eric, Sam, Amanda, Nina, Ruben, and Dr. Woods. And I guarantee you that all of them look at us and say, my parents are Matt Steele and Matt Palmer.
I don't know that they do, but I appreciate the love. Absolutely. See you guys. We'll be back with more 2 Gay Mats very soon.
Bye.
Bye.